We begin in Ukraine, where the Interior Minister, Denis Monastyrsky, his deputy and top aide are among 14 people killed in a helicopter crash. The aircraft came down in a residential neighbourhood near a kindergarten in Brovary, an eastern suburb of Kyiv. At least 3 children have been killed and 29 other people injured. President Zelensky has called it a terrible tragedy. He sent condolences to the victims and paid tribute to Mr. Monastyrsky and his colleagues, calling them true Ukrainian patriots. Our security correspondent Frank Gardner reports.
An early morning helicopter crash and Ukraine is left reeling. The aircraft, believed to be a French-built Super Puma, was carrying the Interior Minister and several senior officials. It came down beside a nursery school and children are amongst the casualties.
I asked my friend what happened. He said something fell on the kindergarten and he started to help, pulled 3 children aged 6 and 7 out of there.
We were walking and heard a noise. It was such a noise. At that time, there was a terrible flame. A helicopter was circling. I froze.
Early investigations did not reveal any sign of the helicopter being shot down. It was flying low, in foggy conditions, en route to the city of Kharkiv. It belonged to the state emergency services. The loss of such a key government minister on board is being called a national tragedy.
Very patriotic guy, do it a lot of things for Ukraine and make a police reform in Ukraine, and it's actually big tragedy for Ukraine, for his family.
Denis Monastyrsky was often at scenes like this, inspecting damage to the latest target of a Russian missile attack. He was a personal friend of the president and was well known to several Western leaders. They've been sending their condolences. Despite this setback, Ukraine's war effort is unlikely to slacken off. The country remains focused on resisting Russia's missile attacks and on preparing for a coming spring offensive by both sides. Frank Gardner, BBC News.
Well, Ivana Klimpush-Tsintsadze is a Ukrainian MP. She knew some of those on board. Here she is describing their work and the effect their deaths will have on the government of Ukraine.
I did know, actually, the minister, his first deputy, and the state secretary of the ministry. So, yes, for all of us, it's a huge, huge loss. And this is a tragedy that is about decapitation of the Ukrainian ministry. And it will also be it is a serious blow to the government as such. These people have been working to ensure that police, that the emergency services, the border guards who are under the Ministry of Interior would also participate in protecting and defending our motherland from the aggressor. And for example, the first deputy minister, Mr. Yenin, who died also in this crash, he worked a long time at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and then at the Office of the Prosecutor General on bringing Russia to responsibility. So for us, it's a huge loss, and not to mention even also the kids that died in this tragedy when they were just there in the kindergarten. Hopefully safe in the minds of their parents.
Yeah, a really, really difficult time. Tell us more about the work that's done in the Interior Ministry and the impact that this will have, the loss of the Interior Minister himself and these other senior officials.
Well, I'm sure that emotional devastation of the whole team of the ministry is very, very serious, and for us it's a matter of restoring also the management and making sure that there are people who are going to take the lead in this big and very important part of the government that is playing a crucial role in defense of the country. So I'm sure that is going to be a huge challenge for us, and a huge challenge also for the presidential team to find a substitute for the minister and his first deputy.
Yeah, because the minister was on his way to what's been described as a war hotspot, and this is something that he did fairly regularly, wasn't it?
yes, and he was known. Before that he served with us as a member of the Ukrainian Parliament. He was chairing the Law Enforcement Committee, so he was my direct colleague, and it was always very pleasant to work with him because he was very intelligent, professional, calm, and thoughtful person. So it's important, for the management of such a big structure as Ministry of Interior here in Ukraine, especially at the times of war.